just going to go over some of the progressions really quick of the clean and jerk here for you guys. So I'm going to regress it back a little bit from what Chris was talking about, because he's talking about doing complex patterns in training, you know, the clean and jerk and the snatch, and some ways that you can evolve some of your training with the clean and jerk and the snatch. And these methods that he was showing you guys have been done by some of the best coaches out there. Okay, but your basic clean and jerk, on teaching the clean and jerk, and same thing with the snatch as with the clean and jerk. I like to do a warm up. If I do warm up with the snatch, I'll usually throw in a warm up with the clean and jerk at the same time. It'll take maybe 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how I want to sequence it. And everybody's well warmed up, breathing heavy, sweating a little bit after these warm-ups. Okay, so your clean and jerk grip, okay, is just outside your shoulders, okay? So this is my clean and jerk grip right here. Now, you can hold it a little bit farther if you want, okay? It requires a little bit more external rotation, okay? But in your shoulders, some people prefer a little bit out there from that. And when you, and I can't do this very well with the PVC pipe, but when you hold the front squat position or the clean and grip position, okay, you want to make sure that people, if you load the bar, you want to make sure that they stretch out their wrists, okay? I've tweaked my wrists a little bit. I've also tweaked my elbows a little bit by not warming up enough, because I was in a hurry. I'm always in a hurry when I feel like, when I'm working out, for it seems, you know, try and get my workout in around all the other stuff I got going on. But you want to work out that, warm up those wrists. So when you go into that clean and jerk grip, you want your elbows up, okay? Elbows up. And see how my pinkies right here? I'm not as warmed up as I'd like, but my pinkies need to be around that bar. So if I'm doing a jerk after this movement here, say I've done the clean and I want to do the jerk, I'll go and I'll readjust that bar so that, boom, I can go ahead and hit that jerk, okay? So it's hard, basically what I was showing you is it's hard to get those elbows up with a PVC pipe, okay? Now, some people will do their front squats like this, okay? I'll never forget, Joe Masello was teaching the front squat and the clean and jerk, and he was London Olympics in 2012. You know, he's taken Sarah Noble to the London Olympics. She placed 7th in Rio, or 2nd in Rio, which is amazing for America to place in Olympic lifting. But anyway, one of the guys was like, well, what's wrong with front squatting like this? And you could tell, you know, he's just like kind of holding it back in a little bit because he's about to get upset, you know, and he's like, well, you can squat like the front squat like that if you want to, but if you do, get the hell out of my gym. Because basically, this is an acceptable way for some coaches to say you can front squat like this. But what it does is it causes you to protract those shoulders forward rather than retracting them backwards. When you're retracted, that musculature there in the upper back, your rhomboids, your teres major, your rear deltoids, your trapezius right there, they're all holding that back straight. And the weakest link in the chain on the front squat, okay, when you're front squatting, is dropping it off of your thoracic right here. Boom, dropping it. Now, if you drop it, big deal, right? You don't want to pull any muscles, right? So you just want to drop it, right? But if you're here, you're already partially flexed, and we want to have a straight back. So it is used out there, but Coach Young has learned that it is not preferred among some of the best coaches that I've been in contact with, okay? So your front squat grip, it should always be the clean grip. far as I'm concerned. So you've got the same movement patterns. You got at the hip right here. Here's your home base position right here. Okay. Now you got to watch it with the gents. I mean, I don't want to get anybody feeling uncomfortable right here, but you can actually do a clean and jerk where you're pulling it into the hip, right? And they'll actually, instead of pulling up, going up and down, you want to pull that bar up, they'll actually come in and they'll ram it with their hips. Hip extension is what we're doing right here. We want to be pulling up, but we don't want to be ramming it like this, okay? Because, and it's my favorite joke about it, and that'll ruin your weekend, okay? Because you don't want to be, the bar will win in that fight, right? Looks super awkward. Yeah. You got to be careful. You want to make sure that that bar is in the crease of the hips. You don't want it lower down by anything precious, right? And sometimes it can be close. So you want that bar right there. Shoulders are back, okay? So we're doing mid-thigh for this shrug. Notice I'm not bending my arms. The clean and jerk, you're lifting a heck of a lot more weight than you are with the snatch. For me, I can snatch 245, I can clean and jerk 245 pounds. I can only snatch 175 pounds. So your clean and jerk, you're lifting a much heavier weight off of the ground. You're using two movements to get it over your head, whereas the snatch is one movement. The snatch is considered to be the most athletic movement in sport, okay? Clean and jerk is not far behind, but I'm using two movements to do it. So I'm bringing myself up into this deadlift, and from the deadlift to this point where I'm on top of my toes and my shoulders are shrugged, okay? Now, I want to float that bar right there, okay? So when I float that bar, I can get underneath it, okay? I have to be able to get underneath that bar or else I'm going to miss it, okay? I got to get it here. So I'm basically trying to transition those elbows very quickly under the bar, and I'm basically lifting my feet up and trying to throw myself or push myself underneath the bar so I can get underneath it fast enough before it starts to come down, okay? So once you do the high pulls, mid-thigh, or at the hip, at the mid-thigh, at the knee, you can go over top of the knee, okay? Then you can start going into front squats. Practice doing the front squats, okay? And then you go and you practice doing the receiving position for the clean. So you're basically doing the clean here. So here, oh, I'm sorry. You start at the toe, you're at the toes and your shoulders are shrugged right here. And then all of a sudden you're going to a quarter squat. And then you do 5 of those and then you go mid-thigh right here. And then you go at the knee. Okay. So another one at the knee. And then below the knee where you have to straighten those knees. Now, believe me, it's going to feel awkward and you may tend to think, oh, straightening my knees out, I lose time. I'm just going to go around my knees. You lose strength. You're much stronger if you clear the knee by straightening your knee out a little bit, okay? So I'm going to straighten my knees out a little bit, pull this into the hips, high pull or high shrug, okay? Now, for the jerk is where I'm splitting myself into a lunge, okay? So it'll look, the progression is you go take the bar to your forehead. I'm going up on my toes, the bar is to my forehead, okay? And then what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to drop underneath that bar because 245 pounds is much more than I can shoulder press, and it's much more than what I can push jerk. So I want to drop my body underneath the bar and straighten my elbows out so I can use my legs to push up the bar. That's the difference between a shoulder press, a push press, and a push jerk. I'm getting under that bar, so I'm not using the weakest part of the motion, which would be shoulders, okay? So it goes here to the forehead. When I'm at my forehead, I'm on my toes, and then into the jerk. The jerk is a lunge, okay? This leg comes behind me and out. It goes lateral out just a little bit. This leg should be right in front of me. My knee should be over top of my heel. And I want to feel confident enough to be able to sink down into that lunge. A side note, the heavier the weight gets, the less you want to lunge it. The more you want to just try and get it underneath your head. But the confidence comes in being able to get that solid feeling of that lunge. Okay? It's hard to do. When there's 245 pounds right here and you're in the rack position and you're tired, you're thinking, oh my gosh, I just want to do like this, right? That's only a partial clean, right? But what I want to do is get it underneath me, okay? So it looks like this from the side view. Oh. By the way, let me just go over a quick few parameters on how you load the bar, or how, sorry, what I mean to say is how you set up to lift the bar. You never roll the bar towards you. You always go to the bar. You need to make sure the bar is on a flat space where it's not rolling around. And the bar should be underneath your shoe, or should be over top of your shoelaces. Feet hip width apart. When I go down, I'm going to grip the bar, okay, in the hook grip. So my fingers are covering my thumb, okay? Feels really awkward doing it the first time, but then you get so used to it, okay, you forget about it. This is the hook grip. This is a much, much stronger grip than this. Hook grip, okay? So once I get that hook grip on the bar, Coach Young thinks shoulders back, chest out, head up, okay? And then I'll start to lift. You can practice jerking with opposing legs. But you'll find that one leg, one particular lunge, either your left or your right, your jerk, I should say, is much stronger than the other. Now, last point that I'll make about the jerk is when you come up from that lunge, it's your front leg that moves first and then your rear leg. So I'm here in my lunge. This is my split jerk here. And the front leg goes to the middle, the back leg then follows, okay, to that overhead position. If I am in that jerk position and I move the back leg forward, my tendency is to dump the bar.